I'm Dragon.
And we're just doing another test to get used to this. We realized in the first one we forgot to do the intro.
Yep.
So we want to start just by asking what's your favorite food, Spit?
Ooh, of course you have to come to me, the food, probably the biggest foodie out of us.
Nah, I probably am. I will eat anything. I will try anything once. Like I had snail
Still
in
eat a
France.
Still eat 2 fucking pizzas by himself. Not gonna lie.
That doesn't make
Do
him
you
a
even know what
foodie.
the
That makes him
definition
a
of
fat
foodie
ass.
is? Yeah,
Fat
exactly.
It means he loves to try different foods, loves all sorts of different foods. Is what a foodie.
um,
And I would know, because that is me.
I don't exactly remember the name of it, but there was this one lobster dish that I really, really liked.
See, that's the trouble. I always find foods that I like, and I can never remember what they're called, so I can never ask for them again. It's the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, I wish I remembered exactly what it was, but it was kind of like a lobster tail seeped in some kind of a sauce. I'm forgetting what it was exactly, but I know it was damn it. I'm just gonna say it was some kind of a lobster tail and sauce, and it was really fucking good. That's all I remember of it at the moment.
Lobster tail
Alright.
sauce. New dish coming from Spitfire soon. Keep an eye out, everybody.
Lobster tail sauce.
What about you, Dragon?
I don't know, I just kinda eat whatever the heck pops up in my mouth, you know?
Well, what's the favorite thing to pop in your mouth outside of dicks?
Hey, whoa. I am straight here.
Are you sure?
Are you though?
Hey, I make sure to say no homo before every time it happens, okay? You know, you never know what's gonna happen.
Every time before
Anyway.
it happens, why do you keep letting it happen?
Anyway, I haven't really had a favorite dish. I mean, it may be like, shit. A good old classic, you know, beef burger. You know, perfectly grilled, you know, barbecued. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Traditional burger,
You know,
yeah.
type that just melts in your fucking mouth. Pretty much.
Okay, with burgers, the type that I prefer is like bourbon and bacon burgers. So you've got like a bourbon barbecue sauce, which is just kind of rich. It adds a little bit more to that woody barbecue flavor, and then you've got just like applewood smoked, like thick cut applewood smoked bacon right on top of it. Pairs really good. No
Nice.
pickles, because pickles are fucking awful.
Oh, you fucking cunt. Pickles are great.
They're terrible.
They're great in certain situations. I like the sweet pickles. Like the dill sweet pickles.
I've actually had I've had a coworker, actually my supervisor, who she decided to bring in something that she craved while she was pregnant one time, which was pickles in lemonade. So she just take pickles
What?
and
Pickled
put them in
lemonade?
like pink lemonade. No. Take pickles and put them in like a pink lemonade.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
then you would
mean.
eat
So
pickles.
it's pickled lemonade. Because there's a pickle in it. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
She
Guess if you
crazy.
got a craving.
Apparently, it tastes pretty good. She actually
Oh,
sold some of them.
Maybe I'll try it sometime.
Yeah, she actually sold
Pickles
some
with
of them
pink
in the.
lemonade.
Yeah, she sold some of them at work in order to raise money for like her daughter's choir trip or something like that. I don't know. Band trip, choir trip, school thing.
That's nice. I remember doing all that stuff all the way back in high school. Those were the days. So, if I had to say my favorite food, it would be closest. Definitely. Just
Do you
whatever the
have a
closest
favorite
food
food that is not?
Yeah,
closest?
my foods actually go based on season. Like this fall cold area, you already know, Spit pot roast.
Oh, if we're talking about seasonal foods, that's a whole another thing. Because I
Well,
was trying
yeah.
to figure out overall favorites.
But overall, my overall favorite would that's a hard choice. It'd have to be
Exactly.
a rare filet mignon steak. with like made in the
Ooh, that is
right
good.
place.
That is good. We're gonna have a Gordon Ramsay steaks open up nearby me pretty soon.
Yeah.
So
I'll
going
Me
to-
and Drac might be taking that trip down there to eat there as well.
You might as well fucking.
if y'all do take a trip over here, let me know so that way we can meet up. go to Ramsay Steaks.
Yeah, we'll be sure to let you know.
I will just be like, I really hope that I'm off on it, like, the opening day for it, so that way I can just go over there and be like, just get me whatever the fuck Ramsay suggests. Because he's obviously going to be there opening day.
Oh, we're talking about food and it's November, so what do y'all usually do for Thanksgiving?
Family meeting,
I mean-
family gathering, really.
Yeah, generally just sort of the traditional family gathering. You have some turkey, mashed potatoes. One of my favorite
the
things is
best
the
Thanksgivings.
cranberry sauce.
One of my favorite food in Thanksgiving is, one of my favorite foods, period, is mashed potatoes, but I love the, like, rotisserie, or, like, whatever it is, like, hams, the glistening hams that you typically get for Thanksgiving.
Yes, those
Like honey
are
ham?
amazing. Yes, honeyed ham. That's
what it's
great.
called.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That is one of my favorites. And my favorite, like, dessert is food. What is that food with the marshmallows melted on top and the yams inside?
Yeah, it's like a sweet potato, sweet potatoes and
Marshmallows on top roasted.
Yeah.
Like, that's
yeah.
like I
That's amazing.
Like, if it's not made, like, I've had such mixed feelings with that food. Let me tell you, I've had times where I've been like, no, it's horrible, I can't eat it. I've had other times where I'm like, I must have it. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, if it's made wrong, it is terrible.
It has to be made with the exact right portion of both marshmallow and yam.
Yes, it really does. Because if you don't have enough, marshmallow, and I just say sweet potato because I'm just so used to calling it sweet potato. I know it's yams, but sweet potatoes, it works. If it's too much sweet potato, then
Candied
it completely
yams,
overwhelms the
I think is what it's
marshmallows
called.
and yeah, whatever.
No, I think that's what the dish is called.
the name of the dish. Okay,
is candied yams.
Yeah, if it's
I think.
too much sweet potato, then you get no marshmallow flavor in there, and you lose kind of like that extra sweetness that comes from basically just the pure roast. And if it's too much marshmallow, you don't get any flavor from the yams, and it's just basically roasted sugar, which
Yeah.
I mean is
roasted
it's good
marshmallows
when it's paired
isn't
with chocolate,
bad.
but
No, I actually like a roasted marshmallow by itself. Like, I love it has to be burnt though. Like, like people are like always trying to get a marshmallow perfectly like warm on the edge of a steak. No, I'm like, in the fire, burnt, delicious. Like, that's my favorite way to eat it. Inside it melt, outside all black. Yeah, where you catch it on fire and you let it go around the marshmallow, turning it all black. That is my favorite way to have a fire, like campfire marshmallow.
I like mine lightly singed, so that way it's a little bit of black, but it's still mostly golden brown.
Yeah,
I like mine as black as my soul.
Yes, exactly.
I'd say, what's your favorite type of stuffing? Like traditional stuffing? I know that
I'm not
my
a big
family's
stuffing
really big
guy.
into oyster stuffing.
Like, I'll eat it, but I'm not like for Thanksgiving, it's not typically a thing that I eat. Like, it's weird. Like, I prefer I like mixing food, not missing. No,
I like
never
food,
missing.
yes.
I like missing food.
I'll never miss a food.
You anorexic fuck.
But I like mixing food quite a lot, actually. Like weird foods too. I think this is weird, but I like to have my chicken nuggets with ranch. Like microwave chicken nuggets with ranch.
When I was growing up, my most common meal for elementary school would be peanut butter and bologna sandwiches.
Oh my gosh, those are the best.
I've actually been having lately. I just had a craving for PB&Js. I've just been making myself PB&Js and eating them.
Have you tried peanut butter and bologna sandwich?
Peanut butter and bologna? No.
Yes. It's
good.
Sounds
actually
weird. But I bet it's one of those weird things you look at it and go, that can't taste good. You take a bite of it and go, oh my god. Like, this is amazing.
Oh my god, I didn't think it would
It's
taste
one of
like
those
this. You have to... I'll bet you have to like be really specific with the type of bologna you get. You have to get like the Oscar Mayer bologna.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I in my opinion, just doesn't taste quite right.
It has to be that
It's
right
odd,
amount.
and I think I've lost my taste for it now. But when I was in elementary school, I fucking loved it, and people
You
would
just
look at
have
me
to
weird.
right.
It's like, hey, what did you get? What did you bring for lunch? Peanut butter and bologna. They just look at me like, the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I think one of the special
Like,
ed kids got out of the classroom, miss.
And no, the funny thing is, I was always top of my class.
I
until
I
high
could have
school,
been if
yeah.
I actually, well, did, like, if I didn't goof off all the time. Have y'all taken IQ tests? I don't think you have, Dragon. Have you, Spit?
No.
I haven't taken an official IQ test. I've done things that are based on official IQ tests, and it was like things. I've taken like IQ tests that were old, but not like an up-to-date official one.
What's the highest and lowest score you got on them?
Lowest score I've ever achieved was a 127. The highest score I have ever achieved was a 148.
So you're probably in between, so something about 130.
I'm betting I'm probably sitting about 130, 135.
Yeah, mine, I took an official one. It's 142.
Very nice.
We need to get Dragon to take one.
Yep.
Probably
I can
be
try
negative
to.
3.
Negative 3.
Okay, so just a little bit of information for you, Dragon. The minimum, like the army actually used to have a thing where they would make you take an IQ test.
Yeah.
They don't make you take an IQ test now, but
It's
they
supposed to.
required you have a minimum of 90, because if you were below 90, they actually deemed it too much of an effort and not worth the time to actually try to train you to do anything, because you were literally too stupid.
Too stupid to die for your country.
Too stupid to do anything. So why were you in the army? I was too stupid.
They said I wasn't
I
smart
think
enough to hold a gun.
Yeah, I think an IQ below 70 is actually considered to be like mentally retarded.
See, mentally retarded is a different word to mean, because the modern meaning is not what it originally meant. Because now it's autistic instead of retarded.
No, I mean like
Yeah,
the
I know what
actual
you meant.
legitimate mentally retarded.
Yeah, I know what you meant. And, like, that's what a lot of people confuse. We're gonna get deep here.
Yeah.
We're gonna get real deep
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Not in a
Very deep.
girl,
Okay.
sadly.
Deep. Oh.
I don't know. Looney might be coming for your ass later, Dragon. Watch out.
Whoa. Hold up. I haven't get it.
Hold up.
Going after the little brown
Alright,
star.
anyways. Brown star.
Chill out. Chill out there.
Alright, anyways. But, like, I'm autistic, and the thing is, like, the difference between artistic and retarded is autistic is more functionality.
Yeah. A lot of I know that.
And
I
it's
think
different
one of the
between
most-
people, but that's the most basic way I can put it.
Yeah, I think the most common form of autism is actually what they're now calling high functioning autism.
It
or,
used to be Asperger's, which is what I have.
Yeah, it used to be Asperger's. And that's generally denoted by somebody being, one, extremely intelligent, but having relatively poor
really
social
bad
skills.
functioning social skills. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
That is
yes.
exactly who I am. That's actually Cat. Cat too.
Yeah,
Fun
I
fact:
actually,
females are actually there's a higher way. I forgot the exact percentages, but there's a way higher percentage of males diagnosed with autism. Not because it's more common in males, because it is harder to find in females. Because if you think about it, like being moody and social, like being socially awkward, is like kind of expected of a female teenager, right?
Yeah, especially when they start, when they would say test for it, which is going to be right around early puberty years.
Yeah, so they just attribute it to that instead of doing further tests. And Kat is 2 years older than me. She is 22 now, and I was the one who started noticing. Like she started telling, so she would tell me stories about stuff she did in the past, which I won't say because that's her private life. And I was going, that sounds really familiar. Have you ever been tested for autism? She went, no. I never even knew what autism was until I met you. And I was like, and I was like, And I started asking her questions about, like, not telling her if it's habits I had or not. And she answered, like, all of them with, like, flying colors for autism. I was like, So I had her talk to one of my teachers that helped me through all of my. She's one of the what is it called? Paraprofessionals for my school district, and she helped me through all my school years. And I started talking to her and showed her to him, and it was actually convenient, like one of those like perfectly timed moments. I was talking to her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm actually about to do a segment at your old high school, Lee, about female autism and how it's found less because of how hard it is to find. Would you like to come to it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I told her, "Oh yeah, and speaking of how hard it is to find, I think Kat might be autistic," and she didn't know who Kat was then. But y'all, it just accelerate the story.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if she wants to come, you have her come too, and like. And after the whole, like, I did a presentation and everything for the MISD school district for me, where I live, in the school. After we finished it, she talked to Miss Childers. Miss Childers like, "Yeah, go see this." I guess he's a psychologist, because he does he does tests for autism. And she came out and she tested very positive for autism. And landed a 138 on IQ, I believe. So that would be high-functioning autism.
Yeah, I know that my first girlfriend, with whom it ended terribly, but that's a whole nother story for another time.
I have a story on my first fucking relationship like that, too.
We can get to that later. But, yeah, she has Asperger's, and it was... Oh, and something else about Asperger's is that it's very commonly found with ADD or ADHD.
Yep,
Those
and
two
me
are
and Kat
very,
both
very
have
commonly paired
ADHD. Yep.
And so,
Surprised you
after
know
she was
this much about
diagnosed
it,
with
to be
it,
honest.
I dated her for 5 years, so I know
there you go.
just about everything there is. Yeah, I've got plenty of experience with regards to how to deal with somebody who has Asperger's. And so... she had told me that, frankly, she was a little bit upset because, for whatever reason, the paraprofessionals in our area were not exceptionally good. They were more so trained for, education of, special needs kids, which didn't pair
the
very
more
well
severe,
with...
lower functioning.
Yeah, it didn't pair very well with
And, see,
Asperger's.
even... You can't even tailor every... way of trying to help them learn and stuff of that to every same high functioning. Every high functioning is going to have their different way of doing things. And that's what makes that business hard. And it sucks. Like, I can't completely blame them for sucking at it. It's not an easy job.
No,
It's a stressful job. It is really hard to get right. Like, they can't read minds. They can't tell what's going to work best for that student.
Yeah, it's definitely something where you have to get used to
Let
the person.
me make the announcement. The job I've been getting lately, Spit, I am actually getting a job as a paraprofessional in the MISD as an autistic. Because I figured who best to be able to see patterns and, like, help autistics than someone who is autistic.
That's actually a phenomenal point. Yeah, I think the people who are best suited for it are either, one, people who are they themselves high functioning autism,
or people who have had kids with autism.
Yes, people who have had kids with autism tend to know this like the back of their hand, and then in very few instances, people who have just had a lot of experience beforehand with people who do have autism and high functioning autism. In fact, my first girlfriend, she even got me like a whole really big book about specifically Asperger's. I went through and read the entire book, and it's part of the reason why I know so much about it. The book, well, I'm going to say is pretty accurate. Of course, it doesn't cover every single little aspect because obviously it varies from person to person. Most of the time, though, it's generally you can figure out patterns of behavior just with some time. Like after dating her for 5 years, I pretty much knew every single pattern of behavior she had.
Yep.
So I was able to just completely work around with that.
Yeah.
Blazing, you got anything to say?
he's been like, I have nothing to add to any of this.
Yeah, this is probably the one area where you've got little to no expertise.
'Cause I haven't been in a relationship more than twice. So.
I mean, we're just talking about autism in general. That topic is what we're talking about.
I used to help out the autistic kids back in middle school.
See, I'd like to go to the special ed kids and help them out too when I was back in middle school. That's something I did as well.
Mm.
I help out in that classroom. It was nice. All right, we can change the subject to something that Dragon can also add his 2 cents in on.
Yes, he's obviously getting lost here and just sort of being real quiet about it. Do you want to kind of fall back onto the topic of food, because we somehow got from food to high-functioning autism?
Yes, that's an interesting jump. Not the worst jump we've ever had, but definitely an interesting one.
Food's autism, yeah. I mean, for the longest time, I wanted to be a chef. Spit noses.
Oh, yes.
I love cooking.
Yes.
I don't think I want to be a chef, but I do love cooking, like cooking a meal, like the fruits of your labor paying off.
Do you still kind of want to be a chef?
Sorta. I mean, I haven't had the spark to cook again. I haven't really wanted to cook, but now that I have a job, I might be able to,
buy money for ingredients. Yeah.
Buy money for ingredients.
Buy
money.
Go buy your money at the store, motherfucker. Do it.
Yeah. buy your money at the store.
By the way, the Price Chopper that's nearby, I think, sells like buffalo patties.
Venison. I actually had my first venison steak this summer.
But no, okay, so I was
I've
thinking...
had venison before, but not venison steak.
Okay, so the thing is, the reason why I want to be a cook is because everyone in my family, no matter what I do, whatever I cook, they're like, holy shit, this is actually pretty fucking good.
See, my family was like that, too.
It's like,
Yeah. Well, okay, my family wasn't like the second part, but they were like, yeah, your food's actually pretty good. And, I had little to no experience. It's just, somehow, that little to no experience can sometimes be, how you make it so good. Once you get more experience and try and follow all the rules by, tooth and nail, it starts becoming worse. Sometimes you just gotta follow your heart on how to put the ingredients together.
Oh, yeah, you never...
Growing up in a... Oh, what the...
Huh?
I'm just sitting in a game here, and I'm just sitting in GTA on the train, and the cops are after me, and the train just blew up a cop car. So, anyways, back on the subject.
Continue.
Back on the subject. Me and my little brother, me and Blazing here, Dragon, we both grew up in a household with a mom who basically came from straight Italian heritage, and my dad came from straight French heritage. So we've got kind of a good mixture going on here of sort of nice food selection going on. Italian food is definitely something that's really kind of fun to experiment with, because it's easy to make, and so there's a lot of options that you can kind of throw in with it to make it just to give it a little bit of taste one way or another. And then some traditional, and then kind of almost going back all the way to the Thanksgiving subject. Chili, which is almost always a staple of our Thanksgiving dinners.
Oh yeah. Don't tell the secret recipe. Don't say it.
No, I'm gonna say it. I'm not.
The secret is love.
We don't have to be very specific with it, but my grandpa had a very specific way on how he would make the chili.
It's really good. It's a family recipe.
It is a family recipe. There's a few other things which I'm not going to add, but one of the things that would make worlds of difference was adding brown sugar into it.
Just a hint. Maybe a fourth of a cup.
Yeah, depending on the size, it varies the amount of brown sugar that you add, but it adds just kind of this nice little bit of sweetness and a caramelization onto the meat that's just amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Now, on to food stuff. So recently I've been watching this anime called Food Wars. I actually got interested in what they're cooking on there. I'm like, you know what? I might actually try cooking some of the things. So maybe on my days off...
Anime food always looks better than real life food.
No. But Food Wars, they actually make actual food.
I know, I'm just saying, always in anime they have, this food table of, soups and all this shit, and I'm just like, why can't I has?
but I want to try to make spit. You know the episode with the Dawn?
The Dawn? Do you mean the Dawn Go? The little balls on sticks?
No. It's just a bowl It's a bowl to go pretty much. It was like rice with like a piece of meat and whatever on top. What I want to try to do is what the main character did was it would be really hard to get plum jam.
Plum jam? No, I'm
no?
pretty sure you could find it.
Okay, well, I mean,
you keep talking about
jam.
it. I'll see if it's at the local Walmart.
I would need plum jam, probably a cheap cut sirloin, and just onions, and maybe some other stuff. I'll have to check the recipe, but I might think of cooking that this Saturday.
Yep, look at that. Smucker's Red Plum Jam, 18 ounces. It's about $3, aisle A22.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
At our Walmart.
That's an efficient Google search.
No, I have the Walmart app.
I know. You're always our Google search person, Spit.
I am our Jamie. I am our Jamie.
You're our
the Joe Rogan podcast.
Alexa,
information.
Alexa, you're Hey Google or Google Home, pretty much.
Yep.
What's her face from Girls and Panzer and the British Churchill? The information wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one that has the flip book?
Yeah. No. She's in the Churchill.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She's also the gunner.
I don't remember her name right now.
I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of recipes I want to try to cook now. Now that I have the money to actually do things, it'd be really nice, just cook up something.
I think probably just so that way I can cook things much better, especially meat, especially more so for when I decide to start hunting, is going to be a pellet grill. Because I have heard nothing but great things from hunters and other podcasters alike, just all singing praises about specifically Traeger pellet grills.
Because pellet grills give you that awesome smoky woods.
Yeah, because it gives you the ability to effectively just slow cook with smoky flavor, because it uses wood pellets. Yeah. And because it uses wood pellets, you're actually able to control to a pretty good degree the temperature without needing to, open and close the top like a standard charcoal grill. So you can actually just dial a knob and it'll change the temperature of the grill.
No, speaking.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because it's a different subject.
Oh, okay. But because you can change the temperature and all that, you can add in a little bit of extra wood, so that way you can get a little bit more smoke and just infuse the smoke flavor. And what I hear is the best way to cook meat, especially say venison steaks, because I heard you mention venison steaks earlier, Creeper, is you take the venison steak, you sear it on a pan.
I had my venison steak seared, rare.
Yeah,
earlier in the summer.
But so you have your pan on a high heat. You sear it for probably about a minute. Make sure you're doing it on both sides and along the
Would you recommend
section.
a minute per sides or 30 per sides?
I don't know exactly. It just kind of depends on your preference. It depends how brown you want the meat to be. You want it to be brown, but not start to turn gray.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then after that, you just kind of throw it in the Traeger for 6 to 8 hours. Just flipping it occasionally.
Slow smoked. I like that.
Yep. Low and slow. And so that way, when you actually, just cut it open, it is juicy and just amazing.
All right, before a different subject of something me and you got to do in real life together, Spit, and your brother. Okay. But when you come down to Texas eventually, when you try out an H-E-B Supermart, you're never going to want it. You're going to wish H-E-B wasn't just Texas only. You're never going to want to go back to a Walmart again. It's
Please tell me
it's not...
country stuff.
It's, it does have some stuff like that, yes. But the biggest difference is it's not a supermart. It's a grocery store only. But all of their meats and everything like that, produce, all of that stuff, is fresh from farms in Texas. It is never frozen.
Ooh. I know there are things that are similar to that in Kansas. I think more so that you have to go over to farmers markets.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But H-E-B is just a grocery store that has the same thing because Texas has so many goddamn farms. It's pretty easy to do that for a grocery store. And they have some frozen meat that they get from other stuff. But, all of their brand stuff is not frozen, ever. And it is nice.
Oh, hey, that's actually really close. Yeah, there's places in KCK and KC so that's not too far from off from us. Where it's, like there's literally a store called locally sourced meats.
Yeah, but
And
how far is
then,
it
I
from
don't know
you?
this.
Like, drive-wise?
Drive-wise, this one is KC so probably 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, see, I have an HEB in my town, a 5-minute drive. Like,
Yeah, but your town's out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
well, yes and no. Texas is all
Oh, wait.
nowhere, but I'm the oil capital. I'm not I'm technically nowhere. I'm not a big city, but like we're a big city population, not size. Like it's fucked. Very
You
fucked.
actually buy. I don't know if you. There's another one that's actually inside of our town. It is like a local farmer market.
Very far for
I
you.
love, I love
It's,
farm markets.
I know Marfits.
I know farmers.
But yeah, this one's local. It's inside of our town. It's actually, yeah, that's surprisingly close. It's on the other side of the main road from where the Walmart is.
Well,
Just
my
a little
point
further
is,
down.
it's a grocery store, so you can also get your sodas and everything from there, your Monster Energy drinks, and then go over to the produce section and get like fresh meats that have never been frozen and all of that. Like that's, and it's really nice. They have pretty low prices for all their stuff.
I need a beer back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, guys.
All right. While he is out, what is a type of meat that you haven't had before, but you really, really want to try it?
Oh,
I was gonna yell
shark.
something, but
Shark.
Shark. I hear shark is just kind of okay. I hear that's not too fantastic, but I hear it's
Yes,
okay.
but I want to be able to say I've eaten a shark. What have you accomplished with your life?
One that the next one that's kind of on my bucket list for meats that I want to try is alligator, and I actually know a place.
I
not
do
too
want to
far
try
off
alligator.
where I
Oh
can
no, wait, I've
get
had alligator. It's been a while though.
Yeah, how?
We had a
Do you
Cajun
remember how
restaurant
alligator
here.
tastes?
No, it's been way too long. I think I was 14, 15.
What is okay then? What is your favorite meat that you have had?
That's a toughie. It's got to be a steak of some form or another. It's probably a tie between filet mignon and venison.
I'm going to say that my favorite up to this point is probably a swordfish steak.
I think I haven't had a swordfish steak, but I've had swordfish fillets. Not like steak form, like, breaded fillets.
Yeah, I had this. It was a limited time thing going on at like a Longhorn Steakhouse right next to where.
I don't know if I trust a
right next to-
Longhorns to make me a swordfish.
It was surprisingly good. But it was a Longhorns that actually pretty much right next to where Destro lives, and
Like, Longhorns makes good steaks, but they're not really a seafood place. That's why I'm like, you gotta be careful sometimes.
yeah, you got a fair point with that. But it was about 5-6 inches across, and it looked like kind of proper steak size, and well, swordfish has its kind of own like unique taste. I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's flaky, and at the same time it's really like fluffy. It like when you bite into it, the texture's almost kind of like candy.
I thought you were going to leave it at cotton. I was like, that might be a bit much for me.
It's got like the same
cotton candy is
just right when you bite into it. It's got that same texture as like cotton candy. It's really soft and just kind of falls apart, like melts in your mouth, kind of thing.
That's pretty nice.
Oops, sorry,
I was gonna say there is another food I want to try, another seafood, but every time I think about it, I'm like, nah, it's also risky. Puffer fish.
That is something that I would only trust to chefs
in Japan. Yes, that's my rule too. I will only ever eat it if I go to Japan.
But yeah,
And they still have you signed a waiver there too.
Yeah, I hear pufferfish is really, really good, but yeah, there's the risk that you might get poisoned and potentially die.
Just dead.
That's gonna be. It's on my bucket list, but it's gonna be one of the last.
Because it might be the
out.
last thing you do on your bucket list.
Exactly. It might be the last thing that I eat.
Worth it. Just dies.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I retire, I take a trip to Japan, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm like 75 years old. I've reached the average lifespan of a human being. It's time to take a little bit of risks. Give me that goddamn pufferfish.
Just takes a pufferfish out of the tank, eats it like that. Eats it like a turkey leg. That's another good food. Down here in Texas, I know y'all have good barbecue and stuff up there, too, but down here in Texas is probably the best place you can get turkey legs. Like, turkey leg is our exporters.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna say that probably. I'm gonna.
Your
I'm gonna
area
have a
is
little
probably the
debate
best
with you
place
on
for
this.
venison.
Yeah, our place probably has the best venison, and when it comes down to say like pulled pork,
Yeah, I'll give you that. Like,
We're
steak
really
and
fucking good
turkey
with
legs
pulled
here
pork.
is probably ours because, like, all
yeah,
of the
you've
steak
got like
here.
all cattle
We got
ranchers
cattle
and
and turkeys
massive,
everywhere. Yeah.
You've got a massive population of turkey.
I mean, we have a
and
lot
you've
of
got all
pigs
the
here,
cattle
too,
ranchers
but-
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our ribs are good here. I need to try some in y'all's place because y'all have a bigger pork industry than we do.
Oh yes, we do. There's this one place. There's actually one really close. I think they only have like 2 or 3 restaurants, and it's like Kansas City local only, called Arthur Bryan's. And oh my goodness, it is amazing. I think on record they've had 3 U.S. presidents go to Arthur Bryan's. So it's got a little bit of fame just with that. In fact, the last president to actually go over to Arthur Bryan's was Obama, and he went over to the one inside of Kansas City, Missouri.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi, we're still talking about food. This time is about Arthur Bryan's.
Okay.
One of the things that they let you do, and it's not very expensive, is they literally you can buy a platter that is just a pound of meat.
Oh.
And you can pick, but like your choice between like pulled
Only
pork,
a single pound?
beef.
No.
I mean, you can get more. You can get more,
I was about
but
to say
like,
only one. I was like, we have a Dickies here where you can get 3 pounds of pulled pork for like $13. I mean,
yeah, but this is like a restaurant where you're not buying it for cooking it later. This is
no,
pre-cooked.
that's what I mean. This is pre-cooked. Like, I just
But yeah, they offer it in like 1 pound chunks. I think it's like $6 for a pound or something like that.
what the fuck? That's a
Really
ripoff.
good.
We have a place here where you
Yes.
can get
Well-
3 pounds for like $12.
Here's the thing. Kansas is known for its barbecue.
I think we already went over this.
We were
Yeah.
already, you're late to that discussion. We were saying, like, both of our states are known for barbecue, but barbecue of different animals.
Yes, yes. Like our barbecue is best for
Pork.
Yeah, mainly pork. Like we rule the pork industry. They got like turkey and
Cows. Like,
Yeah,
steaks
turkey and
mainly.
beef.
And y'all
We've
got
got
venison.
pork and probably chicken.
I don't know. Kentucky, you know. You can't really beat Kentucky in the chicken industry. But out of us two,
Like-
yeah.
Barbecue chicken,
Okay,
not
okay.
fried chicken. Fried
Okay.
chicken, hands down, goes to Kentucky. Like, nobody's gonna fucking debate that. Like, really? Really?
But yeah, and y'all have venison, like, probably the best. I mean, we have a lot of good deer hunting here, but most of our state is flat, open ground, not really prime deer hunting area.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of deer hunting, there's this actual one thing that kind of terrifies me because I want to go deer hunting. And you actually have to start in certain areas. You actually have to start checking your deer. Like you have to bring them to a butcher and have them tested for what's called
Poor
CWD,
motherfucker
chronic
that watches this
wasting
podcast
disease.
at work, not able to get food.
But yeah. Well, this is probably likely going to spoil their appetite, but chronic wasting disease is
God.
think of it like mad cow disease, but for deer, right?
Zombie deer.
Zombie
yeah.
deer.
literally what happens to the deer is that they start to get really skinny. Like, they stop eating, they stop drinking, they start foaming at the mouth, their eyes get kind of all reddish, their tongue hangs out of their mouth, they lose all fear of humans. They will, like, walk their ass right up to you. They even might start to get mange and their hair falls off, so it literally looks like a goddamn zombie deer walking its ass up to you. Like, it's fucking terrifying looking. And apparently it's starting to become an issue in quite a number of areas, which is really concerning for deer hunting. They actually encourage you, if you see a deer with CWD, shoot that bitch because you don't want it spreading to
I believe it's a thing where you can shoot it with anything, too.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like, down here in Texas, come hog hunt. You can use a minigun off a helicopter. They don't give a shit. Just
yeah, it's because they're
a pest.
With the hogs, they may actually they've been migrating northward. There was actually reports of a wild hog seen in the heart of Kansas City, Missouri. So that's not far off from where I live. They're spreading. It's like that.
We need to set up a border wall on Texas up north just for fucking hogs. Minigun strapped to the top of each segment.
It's literally just a Berlin Wall, but for hogs.
Full NATO rounds loaded into each minigun.
Yes.
Oh.
But it's almost literally. There's this one meme that I saw where it showed kind of like a black and, well, it's supposed to be black and white, but it's like a more beige color, like black and tan, where like every single dot was supposed to represent like a population of either 1 or 10,000 hogs. And let me see if I can find that picture and send it to you all, so that way you got a reference for it. But it looks it's hilarious because like basically they blacked out the oceans because, you know, that doesn't matter and all that. And let me see if I can find it so that way I can read it off. You two keep talking about something while I find it.
Okay, well, Dragon's obviously getting distracted by something else over there. I can hear you unmute your mic. You're supposed to be focused on
100
this.
grand candy bar.
Oh, you're eating, that's why.
Mm-hmm. You'll hear.
I'm gonna have to eat after this. Well, you don't have to do it as an example while the podcast is going, asshole.
Whatever.
Well, okay. We should probably change the topic off of food after we finish talking about hogs. For sure.
Yeah, okay, so here's this thing. It shows the United States and it shows large populations of hogs. Like, each dot represents 5,000 hogs. The United States is just kind of like the oceans, and Mexico and Canada are kind of blacked out because that doesn't matter. The only issue is that each dot is, well, a black dot. And each dot represents 5,000 hogs. World Geography, 1948. And then somebody below it was like, untapped infinite hog supply in the ocean. Each state is aligned with an impenetrable wall of swine. We are trapped. We've lost Canada and Mexico to the hogs already.
The only option is a tactical nuke on the border. Well, I'm going to send you a word spit, and you need to send it to your brother. Don't say it. We need to not say this word in podcast, because I kind of realize it's a trigger words for certain victims. Because we said it a little too much in the last one, because we talked about, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, send it to your brother, and we need to try to not say this word in podcasts, Dragon. Like, really hard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna send it through PlayStation.
Don't send it to the group chat.
Yeah, no, just direct to Dragon.
Okay, wait. Yeah, I'll wait for that picture that you sent of the hogs. But, in other topic... So, what do y'all think? Do you think they're ever going to add aircraft carriers to the console version of warships?
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Me neither, but a lot of people are saying they're not going to. I don't see why they wouldn't. They're hoping to add tier 10s by the end of the year, which will be nice.
I heard that they may not be adding wheel tanks to console, which is
I heard
really
that too.
disappointing.
Just
Like,
because,
I really
and
wanted
I
those.
get why, because like it's disappointing because it would have been fun, but like I get that it's you have to program an entire different physics engine into the game. That's probably a lot harder to edit on a console update than it is a PC update, you know?
Yeah, consoles do tend to be harder, and plus the fact that they actually have to do it for various different consoles because the way they do, like unlike Minecraft, what Mojang did was really smart.
Yeah,
was
apparently
that they,
Wargaming decided to make the gameplay specific to each console.
Yeah, which was really kind of stupid because that makes
Like,
it a headache
I don't know what
for
they mean by
updates.
gameplay. I'm assuming it means programming, which would which would collide wrongly with other programming.
Yeah. And so I do kind of like the way that Mojang did it, in which they made everything that could be unified, they made it unified. So you've got Bedrock Edition, which covers, which I don't know what type of coding it uses. I think it uses some kind of variation of like a C++ coding or whatnot. It's like a Microsoft-specific one that Google's compatible with. And so that's why they're able to have Bedrock on all Windows, Android, and Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't think do iPhones have access to Minecraft?
I don't know. They're iPhones. Probably not.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because you can run them on Apple computers, so probably he's right.
Yeah.
Like an Apple
because
making
that
all their
makes-
shit uncompatible with most other things. I mean,
Apple
Apple
being an
would be
asshole.
pretty stupid, even though it's a Microsoft thing, Minecraft, to not put Minecraft on their things. It's the second most sold game of all time.
I think it's actually hit #1 now.
Oh, it's past Tetris?
Yeah, let me actually check this right now so that way we have confirmation.
I'm already on Google.
Blazing, if you do want to talk about things,
I don't know what to talk about. I'm just like,
you can say things.
According to
So
this,
recently
Tetris
I
still has it
re-downloaded-
beat out by, like, whatever those numbers represent. Hold on. Let me go to the wiki.
As of November 18th, 2000. Oh no, that's release date. Minecraft has 176 million copies sold, and Tetris is at 170 million copies
It
sold.
did pass Tetris. It is now the most highest sold. Well, that makes sense because it had a resurgence lately, so it probably sold more copies as of late. Isn't Minecraft free now on everything besides consoles? Like on PC, it's free.
No, I mean there's access to a free version of it, but that one's
Oh, it's
like
not like the
it's a beta or inf dev version that you can access for free.
Oh, okay.
I think the Raspberry Pi version is free, but that one's effectively
Interesting name.
beta 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4. It has features of all of those.
Yeah,
but not completely.
the angle I got for the podcast right now, just for the background, is kind of looking at the tower right next to your structure on the hill spit, and it just looks imposing in the distance. Just
I guess on the subject of Minecraft, what are some features that you guys would like to see? Because I know that they've added. They're
I've
going
talked
to be
about
adding.
it all the time. Emerald,
Yeah, they're going-
motherfucking armor, and wet tools.
fuck.
But yeah. What do you think about the bees and honey?
Why? What's the point? I don't
I
care
know
about
that-
all. Like, they're adding too many mobs to Minecraft, if you ask me. Like, I
They're
like
adding
it, but they're adding them too fast, one after
What
another.
happened to the cave update?
It got pushed back again. What do you think happened?
Yeah, it
to
got
it?
pushed back again in favor of
Another
another
update. That one looks interesting.
Yeah,
At
it
least it
looks
got
good.
pushed back in
New
favor of an
mobs.
interesting update. Besides the
yeah,
bees.
but like, I want a new. I want cave updates. Come on.
I want emerald armor and tools. I don't give a
Here's a
fuck
question.
about the cave update.
I want a new
Did
set
they,
of I want a new set of armor and tools.
New
my
new
question.
minerals would be really nice.
Oh, hold on.
Like, give me
Here's my
some
question.
rubies or something.
No, How about they like slowly move in like a Tekkit styled Minecraft, put in slowly
I mean,
instead of
Spit, you always mention that other Minecraft was sulfur and everything. What is it?
RL Craft, I think.
No, it's a standard Minecraft, not a mod.
That's the fuck. What is
The
it?
learning version or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the Minecraft Education Edition or something
Yeah.
like that.
Like, why isn't
where
that
you can
standard
actually-
Minecraft where you have like fucking uranium and shit?
I don't know.
Like, why can't we just get Tekkit onto console? You know, just mod it out Minecraft. Like uranium, sulfur,
Yeah,
copper.
I don't know why they haven't done mods for console, but the thing is, like we've talked about this before, Dragon. Like, if they add mods to console, the Tekkit creator and all of those mod pack creators would have to remake their entire mod for console because it doesn't just port over from PC.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
know,
is harder to do.
I know. But like, how about Minecraft like takes their time in the next probably 2 years to talk it out with creators and such, and try to make something for console. You know?
Well, by then we'll have a PS5, and so it'll be different by then. Yeah, it's a bad
so
time to start it now. They'd have to start it on the new console.
Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate way that Bedrock functions, which is the kind of the primary console version. The PlayStation 4 edition is based off of Bedrock, but it's just a slightly different variant of Bedrock specific to the PS4.
Yeah.
But the way that it's coded actually makes it very difficult for modders to actually be able to do mods for it. Java Edition is significantly easier, and that's why you see primarily the modding community is centered all around Java. They're never going to,
Yeah, let's talk about the
ditch
subject
Java.
of like some game companies that don't want their games modded. It's like, why? It makes people play your game for longer.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get retention.
For example, say a perfect game that could be modded, but creators absolutely fucked up the game initially. No Man's Sky.
Yep.
That could be.
I mean, think about it. They
modded.
could have it's basically an entire galaxy, right? I haven't played it. I'm not.
It literally is. It's
Yeah.
billions.
Yeah.
It's so many different systems. Imagine what fucking mod creators could hide out there. As
Yeah.
cool little thing. Like, there's so much you could do with that much space. There's another game I don't think y'all have heard of, but it's called Rodina. And it's life-size fucking planets. So you can just walk around or fly around in your ship. It's a single solar system. But think of the shit you could hide on an entire goddamn planet, multiple of which an entire system, or an entire asteroid belt.
Yeah.
That sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think...
And I believe Rodina does have mod support. Look it up on Steam, Spit, real quick.
Spits her lookup man.
Yeah, I've turned into Jamie.
Look it
Rodina.
up.
How do you spell it?
Rodina.
But I think kind of going back towards apparently it does have mod. Like one of the first results was Rodina modding, ability to mod and create custom EMG files. Yeah, you can mod with this. They actually support it.
You might want to get that game, Spit, because just think of all the shit they could do in that game. Last time I saw
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. I don't know what's changed in that game, but it was amazing what I saw.
Well, I'll check up actually the required specs in order to play it because after I build myself a PC.
Yeah, the person who I watched play it has a monster of a PC. He had one of the PCs he named Sasha that had water that ran through it
Update for
as
Warships
cooling.
just now. The fuck? Warships just now had an update. Is
Yeah,
that just
mine
a-
already finished.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. Recommended
Gonna hit your vape,
requirements.
mute your
It's
mic
actually
when you do it.
Fuck off.
wow.
No,
It's
like
not
we're
actually
podcasting,
very
Dragon.
not very demanding. It says CPU speed. It recommends a quad core, 2 gigabytes of RAM, Windows Vista 7 or 8. A dedicated GPU with 1 gig of memory, 300 megabytes of space, and 1 gigabyte of
So
video
not too
RAM.
demanding at all.
No, my computer should be able to handle it well more than fine. Let me actually look at it on the Steam platform because the stuff may have changed.
Maybe, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting game there. It's a really good game.
Yeah. Speaking of space games, Kerbal Space Program 2 is going to be launched in a couple of months, I think.
Oh yeah, in a couple of months. I forgot it's that close.
Yeah, it's for anybody who doesn't know what Kerbal Space Program is, or KSP. It is probably
literal rocket science.
It's literally rocket science, but you can fuck around on it so much. Basically, just
strap a bunch of rockets together and see if it flies.
You get to build your own. Yeah, you get to build your own rocket, and you can take it to other planets and all that. And it's a very, very realistic physics simulator. But now you get to control little green guys.
Mostly realistic. I'm sure the newer one will be better, but it's pretty realistic how you get to the planets and everything. But like a lot of it is you just exploding on the launch pad, going, "Why can't I take off?" If you don't know anything about the game,
it is a great game to play. I own it on both PC and console. I
don't own it at all.
Love it. I love it.
But
it's so much fun.
I used to fall asleep watching Kerbal Space Station videos.
Space Station
Space Program.
Get it right. KSP.
Program.
Did you watch Scott Manley?
KSP videos. He does that whenever he falls asleep.
His voice is so soothing; it will put you to sleep.
It's like he's like the Mighty Jingles of KSP.
God. Okay. No offense to Mighty Jingles, he's an amazing World of Tanks YouTuber, but his voice just makes you want to sleep.
That's what I was saying. That's why.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. The voice is just like deep, like that deep.
Oh great! Yes, because the cat tower didn't look menacing enough before. A thunderstorm in the background.
Oh hey, look! There's a. I just popped up onto the Steam store, and Valve is releasing their own VR headset called the Valve
Half-Life 3
for $1,000. No, it is not Half-Life 3, but maybe it could be in VR.
Da, da, da. I want a Portal 3 more than Half-Life 3.
Rodina is $15 currently. Everything looks to be relatively kind of like low res, so no, I don't think this would be very demanding at all.
Yeah, like I think it's an indie game. I know that.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gonna shit on it for being an indie game. It actually has more positive reviews than No Man's Sky does. So
yeah. Because No Man's Sky got shit on.
It got shit on so hard when it was launched because it fucked up. Not because it was. Yeah. It was definitely warranted.
Yeah,
3 years later, it's so much better now. 3 years later.
3 years after it was supposed to be what they said it was. It's a bit late.
Well, I forgot how long the game's been out.
How long has it been out?
3 years?
Rodina or
No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky, which is actually in the more like this tab, has been out for about 3 years, just over 3 years.
Yeah, that's too little, too late.
3 years. Yeah, it took him 3 years just to get the game.
Its total reviews are mixed.
I don't care if it's good now or not. That's fucking pathetic. If you're gonna say this is gonna have this on launch, fucking have it on launch.
Yes. Don't disappoint your community. That's how you.
I will give them credit. I will give No Man's Sky credit in the fact that they did. Even though they were late, they did keep up with all their promises. They did bring everything they said they would
did it,
and
but
more.
They didn't do it when they. You could say we're going to have this in the game. If you're not going to have it in at that time, though, don't say that time. Companies should know this. This should be a common practice. If you're going to have something, but you're not exactly sure when you can implement it, don't promise times. Yeah. Say, we're going to have this, we'll put it in when we can.
I mean, I'll give them, the benefit of the doubt that they are a small team. They're a 6-man team, if I'm right.
12.
They bit off more than they could chew, and they just got to be better next time and go, okay, we're going to have this, but we're not going to promise you when. That's what you need to do.
I mean, now I would play it just because good now. I would play it for maybe a week, probably.
I'm hoping that they change the... on PC it's $60, I believe. Mm-hmm. On console it is significantly cheaper.
What, on No Man's Sky?
I'd say $30 or less would be worth it.
Yeah, I'd say $30. $30 as a base price.
How big the game is, yeah.
Yeah, $30 as a base price. they definitely did bite off more than they can chew because they went from making
Let's talk
mobile
about
games.
AAA companies that fucked up like that, though.
Oh,
Such as
let's say it.
Destiny, the first one. Oh my
No, the
god.
first one's amazing. First one's amazing.
When
The
it was
second
released?
one- No, it was no. You're thinking about second.
The first one was actually pretty good when it was released.
No, I heard.
It's the
All I
second one
heard
that
was people
fucked up
talking about there
real
was no
bad.
story or anything.
No,
Well,
there was a
yeah,
story and
There's
everything.
a story in Destiny 1.
No,
There's a
like
story
when
in
it first came. When it
There's a
first came
story-
out, guys, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no,
when it first came
yeah,
out,
yeah.
we
no,
played when it
wasn't a
first came
lot of the missions, weren't they just the same mission over and over again, but you came from
No.
the different side of the map?
Nope.
No,
they're all
that
very
was
different.
Destiny 2.
Yeah,
A lot
Okay,
of,
then I guess I'm
Destiny
talking about
1
Destiny
launched pretty
2.
good. Yeah, Destiny 1
Destiny
launched
2.
plenty fine,
Destiny
and then
1
they
was
added more
amazing.
stuff to it. I think the only issue was that
Because I
they
just
didn't...
remember people saying, like, it didn't get good until they did the Taken DLC.
A lot of people generally complain about, you
Or
know...
what is it,
like,
Taken King?
Yeah, the Taken King DLC. That
Yeah.
was...
No, it was
yeah, that's a
Destiny
Destiny
1
Oryx
was
and all that.
amazing. Destiny 1 was amazing, regardless.
Yeah, Destiny 1 was generally pretty good. They did kind of... I'd say when they started doing more DLCs is when they started to slip a little bit, in that they could have made it so that way you could upgrade the gear that you had if you liked the appearance of it, and they didn't quite do that. You didn't
I'm
see
just
that
talking
really
about...
as a feature
Okay, let's
until
go back to
late.
Destiny 2 then, because it was... Oh, no, actually, an even worse one. Anthem.
Oh, Anthem fucked up bad.
Yeah. That was a AAA studio, right, that made it?
Yes, that was a AAA studio. That's actually an EA title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
That's what EA.
and
yeah.
actually, EA, as of late, for Battlefield and Battlefront at least, have actually been doing some good things. So, shockingly.
Yeah, I will say, though, one thing I do like about Anthem is that the creator, EA is the publisher, the people who actually made the game, hold on, let me see the company,
The newest update for Destiny 2 did look pretty cool. I like what Bungie's
Shadowkeep
able to
is
do
really
without fucking EA over their shoulder.
Shadowkeep is really good. I just started. I'm fucking loving it. I deleted Destiny 2 because it's taking up like 100 gigs. And
Yeah.
I needed room for updates.
I like the
Like-
trailer theme, like the trailer music they had for the trailer for the newest.
Like Shadowkeep itself, really good.
The
But what
music,
pissed-
Bungie
Okay.
has always been really
Bungie
good
has-
with music.
Okay, no,
Okay, there
let
we
me tell
go.
you something. Let me tell you guys something. So here's what I'm pissed off about. I am mad at Bungie because after all these DLCs came out, guess what? Guess what they did with Destiny 2?
they made it
Hey
free.
guys, let's make it free.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
made
really?
they made the base game free
Well,
to play.
they
The
they
DLCs
were.
you still
That's
have to
because
pay
they
for.
finally had the choice to do so without EA telling them no, you can't do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But people who
So
are
blame
spent
EA
60 bucks,
again.
No. But here's the thing: Bungie should have left it at you have to pay for Destiny 2 because there's the people that spent $60 just for the base game, and then the DLCs after, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, you know what? Free Destiny 2. There you go." It's like,
Actually,
okay, well,
Bungie was under Activision,
yeah,
That's
not
still
not
EA.
EA. No, Activision is Blizzard,
yeah.
not EA.
Hold on, no, I'm pretty sure EA owned Bungie.
No, it's Blizzard
No.
Activision. That's the current company. That's current head company is Blizzard Activision.
Yeah. It was a joke that Bungie was copying EA. I don't think they were really under EA.
You mean Bungie was copying that Destiny was copying Halo, considering that Bungie made Halo and then Destiny.
Yeah. It's kind of disappointing to, Destiny 1 is now an amazing game. They changed up the armor looks and everything. Apparently Destiny 2 with their new armor system, it's...
Okay, it was Activision. Well, it's still Activision. Like they wouldn't let them do the whole like. I think it's nice what they did because they finally have their own liberties. But I actually want to go on to a subject
Okay.
of music and games. And I think Bungie is the best company for putting like with their soundtracks in games. I mean, think of the iconic games they've made with good. Like even I've shit on Destiny a lot, but I listen to the soundtrack quite a lot. I don't know if you two know that. It's good. And obviously, Bungie did fucking Halo soundtrack, so.
Another company that I say is really, really good with their game music and game audio is BioWare.
Oh yeah, Mass Effects. I loved Mass Effects. All the original three. I loved all of their music and sound effects. Like sound effects
even...
specifically. The Reapers. Oh my god. Like
Oh yeah.
that's this type of sound you hear and go, oh shit.
But yeah,
It beats the fucking tripods from War of the Worlds into the ground. The Reaper
and
sound.
the sound mastery that you have out of Bungie and BioWare is really, really good. Like, I mean, granted, you can shit on Anthem all you want. One thing I am going to give them credit, though, for is that they basically said, fuck you, EA, we're
Did BioWare
not making anybody pay for DLC. Yeah, BioWare made Anthem.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they basically told EA to fuck off and to... and they said they're not going to charge any money for DLCs. So I'm fine with paying $60 for it. I'm going to wait until like all the DLCs are out, then I'm going to hop back onto Anthem, because that's when I'm going to have all the content to just play through.
Yeah.
I might actually get Anthem back just to get Masterworks and such back.
But the audio work in Mass Effect, in the Dragon Age series, in Baldur's Gate, they even did Star Wars: The Old Republic in 2011.
I've never played that, and I've always wanted to play it. I just didn't have a PC that could run it.
It is fucking great. Like, it is amazing.
One of my favorite Star Wars games ever, besides the Force Unleashed series, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
I have not played those.
Get it off Steam. They're pretty old. Their graphics are low, but oh my god, are they fun!
Oh, I don't mind low quality graphics.
Get them on. I think you can get it on Steam. Get them. It's fun to play it. It's a fun game. I read
which one?
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, the first one. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. It's a fun game. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. There's an indie studio actually that made a game that I played the shit out of when I got it a couple months, last month I think. Subnautica. I think they're Unknown Worlds is the name of them. And their sound design is amazing. Like, have y'all know the Muto from Godzilla 2014? There's a creature in Subnautica that kind of sounds a lot like it, the crab squid. And it's that chirpy, like, sound, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it's, like, the sound design in Subnautica is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's Unknown Worlds Entertainment.
Yeah, I thought it was.
On top of Subnautica, they made a few other really tiny games that probably are nowhere near as well known. They made Natural Selection and Natural Selection 2, Zen of Sudoku, and there's this one that doesn't show up, Future Perfect. I don't know if that's like some kind of alpha test or... I don't think
they're not working on a new game right now. Well, they're working on Subnautica Below Zero, which is technically another game. Like, it's like one of those DLCs onto a game that's its own game, though, like Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Where it's probably just too big to fit technically as a DLC.
Yeah, it's because it's a different map. It's in the Arctic part of the 4546b, which is the name of the planet you're on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I just love sound design in game. If you can get a good soundtrack, good sound effects, and it like complements the game well, that goes a long way. Like it's one of the top reasons Halo is so successful as well. The Halo game series.
One game that I hear is really good, especially if you like kind of like those games where you can, like if you like games where you can do like automation and you can like make build factories and all of that stuff to gather resources and all that. There's one called Satisfactory, which I hear is really good.
Yes.
I want it.
I've seen people playing it. I want to play it real bad too. Like it's just so satisfying to build assembly lines and it's just building shit for you constantly. Like I said the other day, Spit. I'm having a craving for one of those games where you build a base and like buildings, like something like City Skylines or like a park builder game, but like that's not a park builder game. With roller coasters.
Speaking of which, I actually have City Skylines on PlayStation.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on PlayStation.
Spit, I'm gonna sign you out.
Do I?
I don't know. If you do, can you start the download for me real quick?
Yeah, let me check to see if I bought it on PlayStation. If not, I know for certain that I have it on PC.
Well, that doesn't help me, but
Yeah, it doesn't help you very much. PlayStation app.
But yeah, like I've been craving a game like that. Let's talk about. Oh God, we've been going for almost an hour 20 right now.
We can
we'll
go
end
for like
it after
another
this.
10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll end it after this. Let's talk about the RTS genre and like how it's slowing down and not getting that many games lately, which is pretty sad. There's two different RTS types of games that I like to play, and it's World War II based ones or like futuristic space ones. And like the two best ones for each category is Ruse for the World War II one. Like I love that game, Ruse. It's amazing. And then there's Homeworld for the space one, Homeworld 1 and 2. Amazing games for RTS.
RTS games.
There was RTS seems to still be like budding more and more on PC. There was one that was released earlier this year called Anno 1800. It is not on Steam, unfortunately. It's on the Ubisoft store, though. I hear it's actually like a really good RTS. It takes place in the 1800s, as per you could probably fucking guess.
Yeah, probably.
And it's actually part of an Anno series, apparently. There's Anno 2205, Anno 2070, there's Anno 1800. I'm going to check the system requirements for this, because I hear this one's actually decently demanding for an RTS game.
I know Ruse on PC, like, you can have unlimited units, unlike console where you're limited to 100 units per team. And, like, so it can be pretty demanding, but, like, what I liked about Ruse is if you zoom out, you're at one of the strategic tables, right? Like, you know, where you move, like, where the commanders would be moving their pieces, like, where they all are, they'd, like, command their units. But when you zoom in, you're actually in the world, in the battle. It was a nice little feature. Like, the surroundings around you of whatever bunker or whatever you were in would disappear as well as the table edges, and you'd be, like, it would be a skybox and everything, which was a really cool feature, I thought. It was, like, really cool, and you could get down in there.
Yeah, no, I am definitely not capable of running Anno 1800 even on the minimum specs. Yeah, no, the recommended is a 4th gen i5 4690 and an AMD Radeon RX 480.
Yeah. I'm sure other people out there will know what that means, because I don't.
Basically, it requires a mid-tier PC from what was about 3-4 years ago.
I thought you had about a mid-tier.
4 years ago.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, mid-tier PC from about 4 years ago should run Anno 1800 at
on
like
minimum?
80 frames a second. No, like at 80 frames.
Top.
That's the
Okay.
recommended. If you're looking at minimum, you're looking at a mid-tier PC from about 7 years ago. My laptop is just shit.
Oh, you're talking about your laptop. I thought you were talking about your future PC setup.
No, my future
Okay.
PC setup is going to be completely, ridiculously broken, overpowered.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You'll still manage to find that one game that breaks it.
For a while, Crysis used to be that thing. Is I cannot run Crysis. Recently, though, it's been for obvious reasons because mods been cannot run Minecraft.
Yeah, can it run RL Craft? Are you gonna get a 4K monitor for your setup?
I'm not going to go with a 4K monitor. I think I'm going to stick with 1080p because for the screen size that I would feel comfortable playing with on a PC, which for me is like a 24-inch monitor, which is what I'm looking at right now, 1080p actually has the same pixel density, well, slightly less pixel density. If it was a 23 or 22 inch, it would be the same pixel density as my 4K TV. So since the pixel density is the same, it really doesn't make a difference. If I really, really feel the need that I need that extra crisp appearance on my screen, I might try to go for a 1440p, but unless you start hitting 30-plus inches, I don't see any point of having a 4K, honestly.
Next night you're off, Spit, I say we work on the new Cat Tower world and do a stream.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, I work tonight, but then I'm off for 2 days.
Yeah. One of those nights we need to just work a little bit on it. I do eventually want to finish that thing.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
the new one or the new one?
New one. Not new, because we lost a lot of progress on that, remember?
Yes.
That was annoying. Hell, like, we lost all the way back before the water temple.
Yeah, that's
Like, that, all the frame is still there, so it's still an imposing thing, but sadly, that's it.
Oh, I did manage to, for a very short period of time, well, not a short period of time, at absolute potato settings, run ray tracing on my laptop. Ray traced Minecraft.
How long did it take your laptop to explode?
I mean, it instantly just
like,
wanted to
please
murder itself.
kill me.
Yeah, you could basically hear the thing whining, being just like, just kill me
Kill
now.
me now.
But for those of you who don't know what ray tracing is a new form of light rendering program that, instead of having light being pre-rendered like it is in most games, especially modern games, it is a form of active light rendering, meaning that
like
it's
where the light has
real-time.
come from, yeah, and it measures the light, which means your
it's
PC
real-time,
literally
which is-
has to be rendering something at the speed of light.
Yeah, it literally has to be rendering all the light that's going
Processing
on.
that at the speed of light. That's very demanding.
But it's not just where the light is coming from, it's also all of the interactions that
so
the
like
light has.
reflections, all that.
Reflections, anything that's semi-translucent, meaning like skin, like if there's a strong light going through skin, it needs to do like the reddish glow that comes from the skin. Any multi-point reflection, so like if it reflects off of glass and then reflects onto a metal surface and then reflects off of something else, like it's every single interaction that the light beam has, and I think currently they're up at somewhere of being capable of processing like 4 to 6 billion light rays per second in current ray tracing technology, which is stupidly demanding on a computer. And it literally, like, to give you an idea, the most powerful GPU on the market currently is probably, not talking about the RTX Titan, which is the most powerful on the market right now, but the RTX 2080 Ti, which is like a $1,200 GPU, being the more accessible out of that and the RTX Titan. The 2080 Ti will play games without ray tracing at probably 150 to 200 plus frames per second on like 1440p or 4K ultra settings. As soon as you turn on ray tracing, expect those frames to eat shit down to sub 1. I'm not even joking. You would be lucky to hit 100 frames a second. Lucky to hit that. If you're using a weaker card like the 2070 or the 2070 Super, which is, I think, the only one they have up until I think they're reviving the 2070, which is completely stupid. That's something that I'm not even going to get into. But if you go with the 2070 Super, which, if you're going to do ray tracing, it's recommended you do it at 1080p instead of a higher one, you're going to go from, say, 130, 150 frames a second, and it's going to eat shit to about 45 to 65 frames a second.
Yeah.
It is stupidly demanding, and the RTX cards from NVIDIA are specifically designed with ray tracing in mind. They actually have what they call RTX cores, which are additional processing cores specifically for the purpose of ray tracing. It also helps with multi-frame rendering, but they were designed specifically for ray tracing. And it still eats shit. So, if it gives you any idea on how demanding that is. And they're actually going to be bringing ray tracing to Minecraft Bedrock. And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's going to make Minecraft's really fucking demanding for everyone. That's the downside.
It looks so like
I think it has the option to turn it off, but
yeah, you're gonna have the option to turn it off, and it'll only give you the option to turn it on if you have an RTX card, I believe. But it's definitely going to drive everybody to try to get those RTX cards, and it's definitely going to drive me to get an RTX card, because I started, like, when I just sort of randomly
didn't you say
went
something
back
about the
over
PS5 is going to try and have ray tracing enable, like,
it says
software?
Sony actually did announce that they will be supporting ray tracing, and the next generation of AMD Navi GPUs, which I believe are supposed to be the 5900 or 6000, the RX 5900, I think is what it's going to be called. Those are supposed to be capable of supporting ray tracing. And the 5900 is supposed to compete directly with, I believe, the 2080, the RTX 2080, which is going to be absolutely ridiculous. And it's going to be pretty damn expensive. Like, let's just be honest here. It's going to be pretty fucking expensive.
Like, hey, we're going to end the podcast after talking about RTS games. Now we're going to talk about RTX cards.
Yes.
Shush you. You don't get to... Go back to being silent.
Happen to listen to this, for anybody who does happen to listen to this podcast, chances are if you're listening to it later than, I don't know, February of 2020, don't bother buying an RTX 20 series card right now, because the RTX 30 series cards, I believe, come out in Q3 or Q4 of next year.
Alright, let's get off of this computer shit, because most people who watch this probably aren't going to understand a single word of everything you just said, Spit. So let's try and talk about more general topics.
Yeah. Actually, we've hit the hour-and-a-half mark.
But we're having fun. Alright, yeah, we gotta end it.
Yes, and I have to sleep.
Sleep is for the weak. We've had this discussion before. But anyways, yes, this is another test podcast. I don't know how many more test ones we're going to do. Like we said, they're most likely going to be test ones until we get a schedule.
Yeah.
But they will be numbered.
More or less these technically can be real podcasts, but they're just us kind of getting the feel of it, honestly.
Yeah, like the first one we didn't say our names, anything, so you knew our voices. This time we were like, oh yeah, we should probably do that. First time we said words we shouldn't have said, not for demonetization or anything but like that, because it is sensitive words for more people than it should be.
There are words that we will try to avoid in the future. I do apologize for any of that. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. But anyways, this has been the UIA Podcast Test 2. I am Creeper. You can find my gaming channel on Creeper Assassin 7. If you're looking at the screen right now, it's spelled exactly like that. Creeper, ASSASIN 7. Drop the second 7. Spit.
You can find my YouTube channel, which is mostly going to be just archive videos of live streams, at Spitfire7, spelled SPIT FYRE, and then the Roman numeral 7, which is a VII.
And
you got me, which is HPG Dragon. Yeah, that's simply it.
I believe the HP is capital too.
HPG
and the D
is all capital.
HPG is all capital. And that's where you can find our gaming stuff. Typically, like we don't have any schedules for our YouTube channels, be warned. It's just videos will go up whenever, streams go up whenever we decide it. Like, it's not there for the meant to be cohesive. It's just there so you can see, oh, that was a funny video, or oh, that was good gameplay, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or we just usually when we stream, it's stupid shit. It's nothing.
Yeah, and in the future we will try to get a more consistent schedule. Unfortunately, I'm in kind of the bit where my job has just throws me into random schedules. I don't have a stable schedule, so
I don't have a stable.
We will try to announce when his nights off are, when he knows, in each stream if we can, so you can know when to expect it. They will have to be at night or early morning. We will try and get the rare one out during the day if Spit is up early, but he works night shift, like we said on the last one, but in case you missed that. So it does make it a bit harder for us to do a live podcast, but we hope that you can listen to it. Just listen to it after it's already been uploaded to YouTube. We don't plan on really doing anything visual, ever.
Yeah.
The most visual
At
thing
least
we
not
were
for a while.
not for a while, and if we
a
do anything visual, we were talking up. Or this is nowhere near confirmed. We got to figure out a way to do it right. In Minecraft, in this world that you're looking at right now, in any of those floors in that tower up there, we could have our characters just sitting there talking to each other like we were actual people sitting next to each other, and that'd basically be it. Like all it would be is us turning towards each other, and that's it. Like it wouldn't be like anything you'd really miss. But yeah, that's been this podcast. We will try another one on Spitfire's next night off, which is Tuesday. No, Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday night.
Yeah. I have work that night.
Yeah,
Sadness.
so Dragon probably won't be here. We'll try and get someone else in. It might just be me and Spit. It basically was tonight anyways.
Because there wasn't really
Depending on that, we might actually make it just a live stream, just because that might be easier.
Yeah, if it's a live stream, it will be on my channel. He might live stream too. Typically, if it's tanks, he live streams. If it's Minecraft, I live stream. That's typically how we do it.
If it's anything else, probably me. So.
You don't really live stream at all. Like, we don't typically live stream other games. If we do, it's not for very long, like 30 minutes.
If I live stream Rocket League on PC, fuck, I live stream for like hours.
Well, we're talking about with us when we're all playing together.
Anyways.
Okay, anyways.
This closing statements is going on forever.
Yeah.
Well, it's because this is the information part, because this is new.
Let's end it.
Eventually,
Let's
Dragon. Eventually, we won't have to do this because it's a new podcast, but information is important for those who care. Thank you for joining us if you joined us, and we will see you next time.